Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back. David here, and today we're going to be continuing where we left off with the CD collection. So today we're going to be going through C through D. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. So first up, we have Coffins with Buried Death, released in 2008. This is on $20 spin. If you're not familiar with Coffins, this is a death doom band from Japan. Heavy, heavy shit. Highly recommended if you like Autopsy, Asphyx, or Hooded Menace. This is an absolute must. Like, this is seriously... I discovered these guys because Count Blagrith, who a bunch of you probably know, I was watching one of his videos. He was doing a vinyl update, and he mentioned this, and he said it was one of the heaviest albums ever that he had ever heard. And that was, just that alone was enough for me to be like, okay, yeah, I gotta check this out. And yeah, sure as shit, this is probably one of the heaviest things that I've ever heard. Just, the riffs are absolutely fucking crushing. The fucking bass on here is some of the heaviest bass ever. Like, it seriously reminds me of the thick, thunderous bass tone that Martin Eric Ain, the guy from Celtic Frost, had. It just reminds me of that so much. So if you're a Death Doom fan, please check these guys out. And this is my personal favorite from them, but all their stuff is highly recommended, and it's fucking awesome. So, yeah. Coffins with Buried Death. Go check this shit out. Next up, we got Coroner with Punishment for Decadence. This is their second full-length album, and my personal favorite of the four that they've released. And I actually heard they're supposed to be releasing a new one this year, which I can't wait for. But this is my personal favorite. It has been ever since I've, discovered this band. This has always been the one I go to the most. But if you're not familiar with Coroner is a three-piece proggy thrash band from Switzerland. And I guess the best way to describe them, well, like I said, it's techie, it's proggy thrash, but there's a lot of jazz influences in there. A lot of people like to refer these guys as the Rush of thrash metal, which, that's really not a bad way to talk about the sound of these guys. Just the playing is just really tight, and just every song is catchy, every riff is good, the vocals are really gritty but still understandable, and the singer and bassist, I don't know how he pulls off these bass parts while singing, but he does a fucking excellent job on it. Just all around great musicianship from all three of the guys in these band. I highly recommend you check out everything from them, but this comes first. So yeah, Coroner with Punishment for Decadence. Next up, we got Cradle Filth with Damnation and a Day. This is their fifth full-length album, and as everyone knows, Cradle Filth is known for their later works having that very symphonic sound. This is probably the most symphonic that they ever get, because on this album they bring in full choirs and a full orchestra and everything, and it's a great album. Midian will always be my favorite from Cradle, without a doubt, but this is up there with with saying it's one of their best for sure. Some great tracks on here. We got The Promise of Fever, Better to Reign in Hell, and Babylon AD, So Glad for the Madness. Most Cradle fans know that track. But yeah, Cradle Filth, Damnation and a Day. If you haven't heard it, do it. And next up, we got Cradle Filth again. I'm not going to talk about this one because I mentioned this. This was in my 2017 pickups video, so if you haven't seen that and you want to hear about this, go check that out. But yeah, this is their most recent, Cradle Filth, Cryptorania, The Seductiveness of Decay. Next up, we got Danzig 2 with Lucifuge. This is released in 1990. Most people, you probably know who Danzig is. A lot of people know Glenn from, his work with the Misfits and everything, and unfortunately, a lot of people also know him as a complete fucking tool bag, but he makes some great fucking music. He really does. I've been a big fan of Danzig ever since middle school. My mom would always, play them in the car with me. And yeah, just it's really bluesy metal. Like in Glenn Danzig, I like to refer to him as the metal Elvis because he does, man. Glenn Danzig just he's just got that Elvis voice going on. But yeah, I've always enjoyed this band. Their album they put out last year was pretty decent. I liked it more than I thought I would. But yeah, most of you guys more than likely know who Danzig is. My favorite from Danzig is Danzig 3, How the Gods Kill. But this is good too. So Danzig 2, Lucifuge. And we got Danzig again with Circle of Snakes. Is released in 2004. This is when Glenn basically made his own label, and they've been on that label ever since. But yeah, a bit heavier than the early 90s stuff. Actually, a lot heavier, I would say. But yeah, still Danzig, that bluesy, heavy metal sound. But there's some really cool stuff on here. The title track, Circle of Snakes, Netherbound, Black Angel, White Angel. So yeah, if you like Danzig and you haven't heard this, scope it out. Yes. Next up, we got one of my all-time favorite albums, Darkness Descends by the mighty Dark Angel. Old school thrash metal band, one of the absolute best. This is their second full-length album. A lot of people usually discover Dark Angel with this band, myself included, and I had to go back and find out that this was not their first album. We Have Arrived is their first, and it came about a year or two before this. But yeah, man, front to back, this album is fucking perfect. I love that artwork too. Any extreme metal band, if you just have the lyrics and just the overall theme of like being like a B-grade horror flick, you're gonna win me over, because I love that when that shit comes into metal, any of that just horror stuff, because I'm a big horror fan. But oh my god, yeah, just this album's fucking perfect, front to back, every single track, every riff is great. Just yeah, it's even hard to talk about it because I just want to praise the ever-living fuck out of it. But yeah, Dark Angel, Darkness Descends. If you have not heard this is an absolute must, especially if you're a thrash metal fan and haven't heard this. Check this shit out. These next couple that I'm going to go over here, I'll just go ahead and show them. Fuck it. So yeah, it's my Death collection. So I'm not going to go through these because I also did a video about my Death collection. So yeah. So we got Death, Scream, Bloody Gore, Death Leprosy, Spiritual Healing, Human, Individual Thought Patterns, Symbolic, and the final full length from Death, Sound of Perseverance. And now we're moving on to new shit. Next up, we got Death Angel with Act 3. This is their third album, I believe. Pretty sure. And Death Angel, very well-known thrash metal from the Bay Area, but probably one of the most melodic out of the well-known Bay Area thrash bands. But yeah, this is a really cool album. If you like Death Angel, check it out if you haven't heard it, but more than likely if you are a Death Angel fan, you have heard it, because I think this is considered one of their best. But their new shit that they've been putting out is fucking killer too. That it's up there with their classic stuff without a doubt. But I haven't listened to this album in quite a while. But yeah, Death Angel, Act 3. Next up, we got Demons and Wizards with... Oh yeah, it's a self-titled. So, Demons and Wizards is a side project of John Schaefer from Iced and I can never remember how to pronounce this dude's name, but it's the singer from Blind Guardian. This is their side project together, and it's just what you would expect. It's just really epic, catchy power metal, really cool riffs, lots of cool melodies, awesome vocals. But if you enjoy Iced Earth and you enjoy Blind Guardian, then more than likely you are going to dig this, because you pretty much get the best of both worlds. out of Demons and Wizards. They've only got 2 albums, and the project is still together as far as I know, but it has been forever since they have done something. But even though I had not listened to this in forever, I'm pretty sure I could still go back and enjoy this, and I would still like to hear more from these guys. But yeah, Demons and Wizards. Next up, we got Destruction with release from Agony. Definitely not my favorite, but this was, when I was first getting into Destruction, I just felt like this was the best one to start with. I don't know. But my favorite is definitely a toss-up between Eternal Devastation and the Infernal Overkill and the Sentence of Death EP. Yeah, it's tied with those. But, you know, you guys should know Destruction. One of the big 3 of the German thrash, along with Creator and Sodom. You know, these guys never disappoint. Everything they've done is great. Well, their album that they released back in 2016, I wasn't too crazy about, actually. But the classic Destruction, you can't go wrong. So, yeah, Destruction, released from Agony. And you guys can call me a fucking poser about this all you want. I don't give a fuck. I do enjoy this. I do enjoy the show. Yeah. Dethklok with their first album. And I mean, come on, fucking Gene Hoglan plays on this, and, you know, even if you don't like the show, the fucking music is awesome. You know, it's just, if you're just looking for some metal to just jam out and just headbang and have fun, you can't go wrong with this. So, Dethklok. So yeah, that'll be that. I appreciate you guys watching, and later on today, I'm probably going to be making another video about a concert that I went and saw last night. So I'd like to get it done tonight. We'll see. But if not, I'll definitely do it tomorrow. But yeah, stay tuned for that. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.